Okay, so now we will move on to another breaking news. We're getting in a reaction from the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi when asked on what Kirit Somaiya had said earlier on, targeting Rahul Gandhi and his associates on the AgustaWestland case. He said, and I'm quoting him here, "I'm happy to be targeted." Well, that is what Rahul Gandhi, the Vice President, had to say when he was responding to Mr. Somaiya's charge that one of the aide of Rahul Gandhi was also linked in the AgustaWestland case. But this is a question that was asked by reporters to Rahul Gandhi a short while back. Okay, let's get in Executive Editor Javed Ansari for more on this. Javed, this was, of course, a response to what Kirit Somaiya had said earlier on, a charge that he labelled against the Congress Vice President. But Rahul Gandhi there, remains unfazed, in fact saying that he's happy to be targeted. Why would he say something like that?
Yeah, because they believe, and they believe this very strongly, that they absolutely have no case to answer for. They also believe, the Congress political managers as well as the political leadership of the Congress party believes that the more that they are prosecuted, the more they are seen in public eye as being targeted by the government of the day, the greater public sympathy they will gain. I've had occasion to speak to leaders around the advisors to the Congress president, as also those close to Rahul Gandhi, and all of them believe, are of the view that there is nothing to hide, and that the Gandhis are very happy and confident of coming out clean once the probe is underway.
But does Mr. Somaiya have enough evidence to back the allegation against Rahul Gandhi? Does he claim to have some information?
He hasn't made an allegation against Rahul Gandhi. He's made an allegation against his aide,
yes,
Kanishk Singh.
Yes.
And now it's for Mr. Kirit Somaiya to substantiate. Right now, this is just an allegation. In this open political season, allegations are flying thick and fast. It's more in insinuation than rather than any substantive proof. So we'll have to wait and see what Mr. Somaiya has, whether Mr. Somaiya has enough proof to substantiate what he's saying.
But Javed, it may not be an allegation directly on the Congress Vice President, but he is certainly, training his guns at Rahul Gandhi. We know who the target is. In fact, he's saying, Mr. Somaiya, that he was even going to ask the CBI and the ED to check, quote unquote, check his links with the real estate developer.
Well, certainly BJP has made its intentions abundantly clear. While the senior leadership is not saying it in so many words, the second level and those below that have been directly or indirectly targeting the Gandhi family. The whole aim is to put the Congress leadership under a scanner to try and put them on the defensive. Now, whether there is anything there is anything more to what they are saying other than just mere allegations, this is for the onus is on the BJP to come up with more substantiative proof.
Tell us something more about Kanishk Singh, against whom these allegations have been made. He, of course, has refuted these allegations, calling them absolutely false and baseless. But can you throw some light on Mr. Singh?
Well, Mr. Singh, we all know, has been working very closely with Rahul Gandhi. He's a core member of Rahul Gandhi's backroom team. He's been there for ever since Rahul Gandhi came into politics. His father, Mr. Kanishk Singh's late father, was former foreign secretary. He was also governor of Rajasthan. And it's understandable why people would want to target Mr. Singh, because if you're working in Mr. Rahul Gandhi's office, by implication, the connection would be to Rahul Gandhi himself.
Javed, just stay with me. I'll just have to interrupt you there. My apologies for that. We have Kirit Somaiya, who is responding right now. Okay, Javed, we just got a short bit of what Kirit Somaiya had to say, also, dragging in Robert Vadra. But this entire deal, the AgustaWestland case, has once again become taken center stage in Parliament. We've seen both the opposition and the BJP trading charges at one another. Where do you see, this quarrel? Where does it end, and what does it lead to?
This is a political battle. I'm not so sure if...
Rahul,
Nothing.
was there an audio he said? Mr. Bola.
Okay, we will try and get that reaction from the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, saying that he's happy to be targeted. He was responding to a charge that has been made by BJP MP Kirit Somaiya against his very close aide Kanishk Singh. Of course, Kanishk Singh has rejected that.
Nothing. Rahul, what?
Nothing.
Was there an audio? He said, Mr. Bola.
Yes, I think I heard him also say that I'm happy to be targeted. Rahul Gandhi walking up, not really, talking much to the reporters, walking into Parliament. Executive Editor Javed Ansari is with us. He's of course been, tracking all the developments in both houses of Parliament very closely and observing as to what has been happening. Okay, we have also with us from the BJP, Mr. Narasimha. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us. We just heard Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi making a very short and a crisp statement to reporters saying that he is happy to be targeted. Now, I wanted to ask you that does Kirit Somaiya have any basis or evidence to prove his allegations and his charges against, Rahul Gandhi's close aide Kanishk Singh?
Obviously, Mr. Kirit Somaiya is a very diligent member of Parliament, and he does his homework before making any kind of allegation. When the Congress party runs out of answers to the questions, they make such cryptic comments and then hope that this country will forgive them. Sonia Gandhi says, I'm not scared. Rahul Gandhi says, I'm being targeted. Come on, these one-liners are not going to save them. One-liners are not going to absolve them of the charges or serious charges of corruption that have been leveled against them, not by the BJP, but by the various, even Milan court includes the name of Mrs. Gandhi in their 25-page judgment. So it's a time for them to answer questions. This kind of cryptic replies are not going to absolve them in public perception. In public perception, the guilt against Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are already established. In the helicopter deal, Mrs. Gandhi's name and Ahmed Patel's name would not appear without their direct link in this transaction. So I think it's a time for them to answer questions and not to make one-line cryptic statements.
All right. Sir, just stay with us. We'll just play out that reaction given by the Congress Vice President when he was asked a question regarding Kanishk Singh. This is what he said.
Nothing.
Rahul, what?
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 Executive Javed Ansari is with us. Javed, if Kirit Somaiya says that, there is a link of Kanishk Singh into the AgustaWestland case, why doesn't he go with all of this information to the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate and divulge all the details and the information to the agencies who are questioning all those people who are allegedly involved in this scam?
That's a very pertinent question, Avantika. That's the thing. A lot of people believe that the idea is not to get to so much to the bottom of it, but to keep raking mud, to keep the political pot boiling, so that the Congress party and the Congress leadership is on the defensive. The proof of the pudding would be and it just doesn't apply to what Mr. Kirit Somaiya said. For all those who make allegations, the onus is on them to substantiate it. It's very easy to try and besmirch somebody's reputation, but you need to be able to substantiate that. And that's unfortunately in this country, people get away by making all kinds of allegations without being held accountable or without being held responsible for what they're saying. So therefore, the onus, like I've been saying all along, onus is on those who make those allegations.
Absolutely. But, Javed, what will happen next? Where do you see things moving? And, as far as the relationship between the BJP and the Congress, we have seen what has happened in the past. We have seen, the kind of scuffle both the parties have engaged in both houses of parliament. Won't this, this particular deal only make matters worse between the two?
Well, absolutely. Matters will go from bad to worse. There is absolutely no relationship between the two parties, the leadership of the two parties at the moment. Unfortunately, there's no social relationship, there's no political relationship. Even Mr. Venkaiah Naidu and Mr. Arun Jaitley tried to bridge the gap the other day by inviting Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Anand Sharma and Mr. Sitaram Yechuri to try and see if a rapprochement could be found.
Yes.
But the decision has to come on the part of the leadership. And like congressmen say, you can't be, foisting cases on the Congress party, on its leaders, trying to pin them down on what they alleged are false cases, and then expect the Congress party to cooperate. Very little came out of that meeting, and as far as we know, the Congress, as far as the Rajya Sabha is concerned, we will only see the railway appropriation bill and the finance bill being passed. GST is going to be a major casualty, because for that you need the cooperation of the Congress party and the left parties, and that won't be forthcoming, certainly not in this kind of bitter atmosphere.
Absolutely. And tomorrow is also going to be an important day, isn't it, Javed, with Manohar Parrikar coming out and revealing crucial documents, because the BJP is saying that they have nothing to hide. In fact, they have all the evidence to prove the names of those who have been mentioned in the Italian court order and their alleged involvement in this scam.
Yes, absolutely. What we're going to witness is a lot of sound and fury. There'll be a lot of saber rattling, a lot of allegations from both sides. Mr. Parrikar will try and show that the Congress party's claims of order or blacklisting the firm were false. The Congress will say that technically we were right, because we were the ones who initially started the process. This is a part of a long process. We are the ones who started it. Now, whether the BJP can be true to his words and produce evidence linking the Gandhis, linking Sonia Gandhi, linking Ahmed Patel, linking Oscar Fernandez. That's what the opposition and that's what the rest of the country will be looking forward to. Because right now all that you've heard is there's been these innuendos, there's been suggestions, these insinuations. There's no concrete proof. We will have to wait and see what the BJP can come up by way of proof tomorrow.
Even the Congress has hit back, asking them, 3 questions as to why did the government remove AgustaWestland from the Indian backlist, and why was the firm invited by the NDA regime to participate in, the Prime Minister's Make in India program. So even, the BJP will also have a lot of answering to do.
Well, certainly, like I said, there will be questions and there will be a lot of counter questions. The government, just by Mr. Parrikar standing up and making an intervention, won't see the end of the debate, because there are lots of things that the present government has to answer for. They've been in power for 2 years. What have they done? So these are things, and then like you pointed out, why have they been taken off the blacklist? Why are they a part of the Make in India campaign? The explanation the government gives is that the blacklisting was barring them from further military winning further military contracts, not from coming to India and being a part of the Make India campaign. So whether these technicalities will sell with the people, this is all a battle for perception. I'm not so sure if a smoking gun or any concrete evidence is going to come up, at least in the debate that will happen tomorrow on the floor of the House.
But Javed, what do you make of parliamentary proceedings? What you have been witnessing since last year from the monsoon session, when both the parties were locked in this very vicious battle over Lalit Modi. First we had the Lalit Gate, we had the National Herald case, then we also had the intolerance row, and now this is the AgustaWestland. I want to know, will the GST ever see, the light at the end of the tunnel? Will it ever become a reality? And what about the other key bills, which has to be passed in consensus with both the parties?
Look, I can't say whether this will ever pass, but as of now, right now, its patches appears highly unlikely. It can only pass now once in the Rajya Sabha the BJP gets a majority. That's unlikely to happen anytime soon. They'll have to wait till 2018, because for the passage, this is a constitution amendment bill. For the passage of this bill, you need a majority of 2/3 present and voting. The left and the Congress combined, if they oppose it and all other parties assuming support it, even then it won't be passed. So the government has a lot of work to do. There are many who believe that the government was not really interested, because let's not forget, it was Mr. Narendra Modi as the Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat who was instrumental in blocking the passage of the GST bill when the UPA was in power.
Yes.
The UPA had appointed Mr. Modi of Gujarat, the then Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, as the head of the Chief Minister's panel, and he was front-footing it. Yet Mr. Narendra Modi put his foot down and thwarted the passage of this bill. So there are many who doubt whether the government is really serious in passing this bill, or whether the opposition is the only stumbling block.
Okay, Javed, for now, thank you so much. But I will come back to you and we will talk a little bit more about the reaction coming in from the Congress Vice President on the charge against his aide in the AgustaWestland scam by Kirit Somaiya in just a bit. We'll have to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nothing.
Rahul won. The AgustaWestland students.
Nothing.
Rahul won.
Welcome.
Hollywood. This is a black tie event which US President Barack Obama previously joked is a night when Washington celebrates itself, brings together journalists, media barons, Hollywood.